Hey there horror fans, welcome back to the channel. The early reviews of Return to Silent Hill are out, so we're going to take a look at what the critics are saying. Let's get into it. Silent Hill of 2006 is by far one of my favorite video game adaptations. Truth be told, it's not easy to change a game's narrative into a big screen story. And yes, the first part too had its flaws, but visually, it blew my mind. The follow-up, Silent Hill Revelation of 2012, actually revealed what I just stated. It messed up big time. They reduced human characters to plastic action figures, lacked jump scares, went ahead with an incomprehensible plot, and worst of all, went for a cheesier treatment compared to its predecessor. Naturally, I wasn't ecstatic when a new Silent Hill movie was announced back in 2022. I mean, I already made peace with whatever it was, and the first one managed to cover up any and all disappointments of the latter. Signing up for a potential new heartbreak felt like a lot of pressure, but the reviews pleasantly surprised me. So here goes the pros and cons about Return to Silent Hill, which will help you decide whether or not you want to spend on that big bucket of popcorn. Thanks to special screenings, we have access to the early reviews. Return to Silent Hill was screened around the world for some critics, and they have all my heart for laying out the bare truth. So, what should we expect from this one? Well, as far as the plot is concerned, we're in the same boat, and all we know is that it's based on the Silent Hill 2 game, and will be following the supernatural psychological horror thriller genre of the last movies. Now, if you're familiar with the game, you'll know that the movie is going to revolve around James Sunderland searching for his soulmate Mary after receiving a mysterious letter. Of course, the note will bring him back to the town of Silent Hill, where he would realize that it has changed and come across various monstrous creatures, both known and unknown. James would come to a point where he would be forced to question his own mental stability, but somehow hang on to find his beloved. It was evident from the trailer that the movie would borrow heavily from the game, which is already critically acclaimed, and the chef's kiss was that the original director of the 2006 movie, Christophe Gans, would be returning to the franchise. Also, we had the Japanese composer who created the majority of the soundtrack for the Silent Hill games and both movies. Akira Yamaoka was brought on board this time too. So yeah, there wasn't much that could go wrong with this one. Still, I had my inhibitions until I came across the letterboxd review, and it was by none other than the Italian film critic Roberto Giacomelli. Thankfully, the author and I see eye to eye, and consider the first Silent Hill to be a magical piece of work. It isn't surprising to know that Christophe Gans failed to recreate that, but he did manage to put together a decent piece of work. That means a lot, because Silent Hill Revelation pushed the franchise into an abyss, which would give anything to even produce a good enough movie. Gans has done a great job at reproducing the tense and ghostly atmosphere of the series, and if we consider others' opinions, it's been a pretty good adaptation of the game. Another insider who caught the movie during the test screenings of 2024 couldn't divulge the details due to obvious reasons, assured that the quality is even better than the first one. What? Now I am intrigued. Those who got the chance to watch it before the final release even mentioned that there were moments in the movie which would make you feel like you're actually playing the game, and forget that it's even an adaptation. The psychological terror angle has also been worked on brilliantly and captivated audiences. Another attendee reiterated the faithful adaptation, but gave us a gentle reminder to keep in mind that, like the first film, it's not a direct copy-paste from the second game by Konami. The director has taken creative liberties to tie the story to what happened in Silent Hill. However, thematically it stands on strong grounds and portrays the ideas of guilt and depression quite thoroughly. According to a freelance film critic, Shrikant Srinivasan, oscillating between his idyllic past and his bleak present, Return to Silent Hill draws us closer to the source of James' anguish, revealing that sometimes we are the architects of our greatest misery. So yeah, the general consensus is that Return to Silent Hill is at least worth a watch, and has gotten an easy 3 out of 5 stars for most people. Coming to the downside of the film, it's a bit of a paradox. Return to Silent Hill has been dubbed as a huge fan service movie, and its strong point of staying highly true to the gameplay happened to be a flaw. To quote Roberto Giacomelli, Return to Silent Hill is that it wants to remain too faithful to Silent Hill 2. But a film is not a video game, and Silent Hill 2 is a very cerebral video game that doesn't lend itself well to becoming a 100-minute film. Basically, unless you're accustomed to the game's terminology, certain references wouldn't make sense to you. Moreover, for a casual viewer, the movie might come off as full of flaws because game logic is not for everyone to understand. Now, this is something the first film avoided, and a huge shout out to that. But if you think about it, the Silent Hill film franchise desperately needed to make a strong comeback, and making a movie almost exclusively for the fans might have been the need of the hour. Apart from this, certain iconic characters have also not been given enough room to grow and have been mishandled. As far as Gans' reviews go, Eddie Dombrowski's role has been treated badly, and Angela Orozco's plot points were not explored properly. Another drawback of the film is apparently the pacing. After a grand reveal, the movie kinda dips in speed and might come off as somewhat boring. Alright, we've covered almost all the good and bad aspects of the film. Time to put in my 2 cents on whether you should be going to see it. See, as an ardent fan of the game, I would definitely be booking the best seat. And yeah, also because I like taking risks. However, what I gathered from these initial opinions is that it wouldn't be that bad of a watch for a fan, and I'm ready to trust Christoph Gans. But if you're someone who has no idea about the game, here's what you can do. Brush up a little on how the story unfolds there, rewatch the first 2 parts of the movie, and then maybe go with someone who can fill you in on the inside references. Just kidding. The bottom line is you should definitely give Return to Silent Hill a try, even if you're going in blindfolded, because I'm sure the cinematography and the overall narrative will grip you. And we have Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson in the leading roles. Both of them are known for being dedicated performers, so on the acting front, we're quite safe. Alright guys, that's all for today. Let us know if you have any more news on what to expect from the movie, which by the way drops in a couple of days on January 23rd. And if you're catching this video after returning from the theaters, do not give out spoilers. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!